right, it's 8 o'clock. Let's call the Water and Light Commission meeting for May 6, 2026 to order, please. Please call roll.
Commissioner Grindy?
Yes.
Commissioner Paz?
Yes.
Commissioner Quirk?
Yes.
Commissioner Riopel?
Yes.
Approved minutes from previous meeting, April 15th, 2026.
I'll move.
Second.
Please call roll.
Grindy?
Yes.
Rapaz?
Yes.
Quirk?
Yes.
Riopel?
Yes.
Bills and payroll.
I'll move. I'll second.
Call roll, please.
Grindy?
Yes.
Rapaz?
Yes.
Quirk?
Yes.
Riopel?
Yes.
Nothing from the public. Reports, Todd.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
Morning.
Few items. Business Highway 2 lighting, has really been no change on that. We still need to get out and do the substantial completion inspection punch list, which is pretty much just clean up. So I think we're getting to the point where they can probably get out there and do that. Things have been drying up a little bit, so we'll get that going. Central Middle School solar project. We're currently waiting on Ziegler to get new drawings to us on that. We're looking at possibly making the connection on the primary side instead of the secondary side over at the school. It's just going to be easier installation there. So we had to do a little modifications on that. And then once we get those drawings, we'll be able to finish up the interconnection agreement and get that moving. So making progress there. For 2026 equipment and materials, those bids are due May 12th at 2 o'clock. So once we get those, we'll go through them. There's 21 items on that, so we'll go through everything we get, figure out which one's the best one to go with for each item, and then we'll bring that to your attention for approval at the May 20th meeting. Other than that, a lot of miscellaneous stuff. The VFW Arena, Folsom Farms, the Snowmobile Club. Right now on those three, we're looking at having to do some utility work to get service into those, or redo the service. So we're going to go out for construction quotes on those. So we're getting a list of unit materials and or unit construction units for those, if I can speak this morning. And then we'll go out to probably 3 or 4 different contractors and get some pricing on those, so we have something for miscellaneous stuff like this comes up, since we don't have a normal construction contract this year. So. Addition to that, we're looking at putting some easements together. Again, we're going to need one for Folsom Farms, the Snowmobile Club, and we're going to get one for the Central Middle School solar project for our electric line and fiber lines that run on their property, as we don't have one there currently. So, other than that, the Crystal Sugar has approached Water and Light about some additional beet freeze load again. So we're going to go back to what we went over with them a couple years ago, putting some new equipment, some new metering out by the beet freeze piles. So we're probably going to have to go out and get quotes again on that material, as the pricing we got is like 2.5 years old. So.
Ouch. So
this will probably be 2027 construction if this goes through. So we may have to order the material this year just to get by with the deliveries on that. So we're working on that, and then other miscellaneous stuff that comes up. So it's getting very busy. That's all I have, unless there's questions.
Any questions for Todd?
I have none.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Steve?
Good morning.
Morning.
Your lead service line project, we have a bid opening next Tuesday at 10 o'clock on that project. Right now, I just looked this morning, I think we have 4, I'd call it general contractors that have pulled the plans. There's 1 or 2 that I don't know much about, so from what I see, I'd say we got 2 legitimate prime bidders, but we have 2, there's been a lot of lead service line work kind of completed over in Grand Forks too, and they kind of have a list of contractors that they've been working with, so we've made phone calls to those contractors too, just to make them aware of our project and, you know, let them know it's out there. So I don't know if we haven't really seen any results from that yet as far as those ones pulling the plans, but we'll see. So yeah, we would open bids, like I said, next Tuesday, and then we should bring the bid results back to the May 20th meeting, kind of for consideration of award. Just an update we did yesterday. We held a pre-construction meeting with Blue Peak for all the fiber install in town. So they actually got started yesterday out in the industrial park along 10th Street, kind of east of, everything's east of like the water light shop building there, out in that general area. And then some of the areas are going to be focusing on right away too is going to be kind of right around the swimming pool, kind of 5th Avenue Northwest there. That's kind of where they get their main feed coming from. And then kind of in the downtown area there a little bit. So that's going to be the first area. So again, anticipate all season construction for that work. They did let us know yesterday in the pre-con meeting, they're working through some permitting right now with the DNR and the Corps, you know, where they would have to cross the city's flood protection system. So depending on permitting, everything else, they kind of put it out there yesterday that, you know, they may not even get to the south end of town or south of the Red Lake River this summer. You know, most of their work may just be on the north end here. So again, I think that's going to be, it's going to be a lot of work for everybody, trying to stay on top of it. A lot of work for the locators. So, but Blue Peak is going to kind of attend our weekly utility meeting, just so we can kind of review progress, you know, discuss any upcoming issues. And then they're also going to be providing Reed every Friday with a map of what they're planning to do the next week. So then Reed's going to try to keep that updated too on the city website. So that's kind of an update to where that project is at. And then we do have, still got it kind of on our books, that line pond cleaning project. I know the last time Brian and I had spoke, he was waiting, he was going to get some samples. We got to get them in and get them tested, you know, just to make sure that we're able to land apply them. So I don't know if that's happened yet, Brian, or?
I have an update on that.
Okay, I'll let Brian give the update on that. So that is what I have. Any questions?
Any questions for Steve? No. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Gallstad.
Yeah, good morning. Not a whole lot. I know that I've had some brief discussions with Keith regarding maybe some assistance on getting the last water meters into some of these homes that have been holdouts. I still need to get together with Todd regarding some modifications to an ordinance. Just been busy. I'm sure you guys will, but if there's anything that I need to do regarding the easements, take a look at them, or the final contract with the solar, just let me know so that I can have a little bit of lead time. That's about it.
Any questions for Ron?
Nope.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. All right, old business, nothing. AC tune-up rebate update.
Morning.
Morning.
So earlier 2026, I've been working with Frontier on taking a look at what we have currently for residential and commercial programs, and one of the first changes we wanted to take a look at was our AC tune-up rebate. Now the kilowatt hour savings are going to remain the same per the technical reference manual we use for all of our programs, but what we decided when I was working with Peter with Frontier is to increase the dollar amount on that program from 60 to 75, and that this update will be funded through existing conservation budget and expected to remain cost effective while enhancing program participation and energy savings. So attached beyond the RCA, I have the original and then the proposed form on that. You're really only going to see 3 changes. One's going to be that dollar amount, and then just 2 minor tweaks on the contact info, as well as our load control program on the left-hand side of the first page. So my recommendation with this is to approve the AC tune-up rebate as presented.
Looking for a motion. Okay. Need a second. Please call roll.
Grindy,
Yes.
Rapaz.
Yes.
Quirk,
Yes.
Riepel.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, department heads. Todd.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
Morning.
A lot of the things we got going on, Todd or Steve's already talked about there. As he mentioned, with Blue Peak in town, that's a pretty big job staying with those guys with the sections they're locating. It was nice that they set it up so we'll only be able to be in one section at a time. Possibly looking at get another locator just to make sure that if one of ours dies, we have one on hand. So looking into that. And then this Friday we'll be meeting with the contractor over at the VFW Arena. Going to schedule the time to take those 2 transformers out of there so they can get moving on their construction. They got to do the footings for the wall, and then also we're moving that other transformer out in front. Steve and I are going after the meeting to make sure locations out of the way of the storm sewer they're going to do there. As Todd mentioned, we're working on the solar project also, getting some prices together after we changed it going into the primary. There wasn't a lot of room to get into the school there with the CT cabinet and everything, so working on that. We do have, as Ron had mentioned too, we're down to 6 meters left to install. Like you said, they've been holdouts, so of course those curb stops don't work either. So got Keith on a couple of them here. Hopefully we can make some headway on that. Folsom Farms, we started out, we were just going to move 1 transformer. Now that ended up to be 1 transformer staying and 2 more added. So they're going to be doing some big projects over there with their storage, and so we'll get it all set up so they'll be ready to go. We're going to try and get that done before fall. So working with those, we're supposed to have the load calculations in today, so we can get that to Todd to figure out what we need. So that project turned out to be a little bigger one than what we started with. And then, as Todd mentioned, also American Crystal Sugar. They came back with those. They want to add, I think it's close to 2.5 megawatts fan load. So we're looking into which direction we can go there. We've got a couple different options. So, and we got 4 housing projects going so far already this year. So one was kind of a holdover from last year. And we have had the water crews did put a couple hydrant extensions on too, and he's working on a few more of them. So electric crews started working on some wires that went bad over the winter, so they're starting on that. So other than that, a lot of things going on. So that's all I have unless you have any questions.
Any questions for Todd?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Brian.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Since our last meeting, we recently collected our second quarter disinfection byproduct samples, and we sent those off for analysis. Olson Chain and Cable was also on site at the water plant to perform their annual inspections of our overhead hoists. We've also completed all the sampling from the trailheads, the ball diamonds, as well as the state park and the high school and Stouff's concessions. So those are now all open and available for the public. And then as Steve alluded to earlier, last week we did collect soil samples from our waste lime ponds east of the plant there, and we did send those off for analysis, and we're waiting for the results on that. I'm hoping to get that back possibly in the next week. And then lastly, the Dakota Science Center is hosting the annual Water Festival. That's out at the Heritage Center, taking place out there yesterday and today. We have operators Ray Riccozzi and Nick McNellis are providing a presentation on water treatment for the students.
Excellent.
That's about it.
Very good.
Anything else for Brian?
No.
Thank you, bud.
Thank you.
Bree?
Good morning.
Morning, Bree.
Yeah, just like the others, been really busy. End of day yesterday, I did get our draft of our annual report back from Brady Martz, so I'm going to be working on reviewing that. While ours may be done probably before the city's, it won't be brought to the meeting to present until theirs has been completed. So I just have a couple of the post-employment, other post-employment OPEB pension entries to do. So we'll get those done and then review the report, and then we'll be good to go there. Hopefully quarterly reports will be out today. Been doing a lot of Tyler Technologies training. A lot of configuration training that both me, Corey, Carla, Kristen, kind of some of the key players in all the different modules are doing all these different trainings, and so that's been an additional load and definitely kept us really busy. And then yeah, as a lot of people had touched on Blue Peak, but yeah, Reed did send out a message to all of us with kind of a general map and an idea of kind of where they would be, because we do get a lot of the questions for really all departments. Everyone thinks they funnel through us, so they call us first, and it's good to know where to send them. So I appreciated that. And then unless there's any questions for me.
Anything for Bree?
No.
Thank you. Carla?
Bree did a great job again. Makes my job easy.
Perfect. Jordan?
Just going to start off with rebates here. So looking in the packet, you're going to see the commercial lighting replacement. That's going to be over at Jetway. So that's for 10 8-foot LEDs. So we ran that at a prescriptive rate. They filled out the form for that. For 2025 American Crystal, the lighting and VFD upgrades, I spoke with Frontier, probably would have been last Thursday, and those are in the final stages. So I should be getting that info back this week or early next week. So that'll be on the next meeting to approve for that rebate and get that taken care of. That's going to be about 758,000 kilowatt hours. And also been working with North Central International, just had some questions about potential projects, so working on getting them some numbers for that. And also spoke with Pete about some info about the VFW and Civic Center, some VFD projects over the summer. So he's planning on meeting me up here in June. So besides the tech college, we kind of want to visit those facilities as well and get all that information prepared ahead of time. Got spring cleanup coming up middle of the month here, so we're going to be advertising that on the radio again, just promoting those dates that it's on the street maintenance day, and that we have the $50 rebate for recycling your freezer and fridge, and just the process for that as we do every spring and fall. So that'll be starting on Friday going through the 23rd. Earlier in April, I was at Minn Kota for a half-day leadership seminar, and then on the 27th, Monday, I was down at Grand Rapids Public Utilities, so that would have been an MMUA interconnection process training. So we kind of went over with an engineer and some of the other local utilities on just the interconnection process and some of the changes they've made for 2026. So with that, they provided us a template and some information to get it updated on our own side. So later on this summer, we'll be bringing that forward just to have that adopted and approved. And then besides that, as Brian had mentioned, we got the Water Festival today, so I'll be joining Nick and Ray for a little bit today, get some pictures for a newsletter, and then working on some reporting as well here. I got that EAI 861 over to the state. That was on April 22nd. We had that submitted. And with that, we use that report to file our electric utility annual report. So that's due July 1st. But with that, we have a majority of that information completed, so we can get that taken care of. And then this Monday, our SIP eco reporting platform has been opened up. So this year, we're going to be going back to the spreadsheets. And that was a state decision to do that. So working on that, making sure all of our commercial calculations are up to date with the TRM and getting that done before the deadline of June 1st. Any questions on anything?
Busy.
Go ahead.
You've been busy.
Always.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Corey?
Nothing further to report other than what's already been reported.
Well, Tyler at the back of the bus. You good back there? Keith?
Yes. Well, they covered the Central Middle School. That we had a meeting on April 24th, and that was a great meeting, and staff did a great job of helping them out with their project. They came up with some better ideas, and it's going to end up making the project a lot easier, less cluttery with where the wires go, et cetera. And so I know that the school and even the contractor, they were very appreciative of that. And I was too, because it really got to where we needed to be. And I think we're going to end up with a good project, because of it. So that was good. The RECs, I've talked about the RECs. So we've got the 2025 RECs that came in. The amount is 65,824 MWH. That's how they do it, megawatt hour. I mentioned to you before that if we sell them sooner, we'll make more off the RECs. Last time I think we got 20,000 plus or minus for a similar amount. This time we could probably see four times that probably, or I'm just guessing. And so hope to bring something to you at the May 20th meeting. They're going to put them out for bid here real quick, and then we'll get your approval to sell them. So in the future, we'll always try to sell them right away, and then we can capitalize on that dollar amount. Otherwise, Ray Riccozzi had a birthday yesterday, so we wished him happy birthday. Brian Johnson has a birthday coming up. Going to be about 28, or how old are you going to be? Yeah. So happy birthday early. The DSC staff have a couple individuals that have over 20 years experience coming up. Jamie David, 5/16/26. He'll have 28 years. Marin Staley, 6/1/26. He'll have 21 years. And Lance Reel, 6/16. He'll have 28 years. And so we have a good staff that seem to stick around, and as you can see, they're all working hard. There's a lot going on. Spring is kicking in, and even though we don't have our own electrical project, we've probably got just as much or more than we've had in previous years. And so everybody's working, and to me, I'm happy with how everything's going. It makes my job very easy. So with that, I'll leave it for questions.
Anything for Keith?
No.
Thanks.
Thank you. Commissioner reports. No, we'll move on because you're.
A lot of talk about the Blue Peak. Something that Steve didn't touch on is that once the service becomes available in a particular area, Blue Peak will do a door-to-door campaign to let people know it's available. And so I've been getting calls going, when's it coming? And I said, well, they just started, so it'll take some time. That's it.
I bet our gas prices are cheaper here than where you're at, Mike.
Yeah.
All right, motion to adjourn.
I'll move. Second.
Please call roll.
Grindy,
Yes.
Rapaz.
Yes.
Quirk,
Yes.
Riepel.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Yep.
See you, Mikey.
Mike. Yep. See you later.